that initiative taking place today.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight at the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I am Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Police on Grand Bahama investigating an accident that occurred near the South Bahama Pinta entrance involving two cars. Our Kimberly Mullings tells us that the police is urging motorists to be safe on the streets of Grand Bahama.
Sometime around 6:30 p.m. Tuesday evening, police in Grand Bahama received report of an accident occurring along South Mall Drive at the intersection of East Atlantic Drive. When police arrived, they immediately cordoned off the area to begin their initial investigation. Officer in charge of the Traffic Division, Superintendent of Police, Jeremy Hanfield, provided details.
On scene, we would have met two vehicles that was involved in this accident, one being a Nissan Tunnel. This vehicle is reportedly traveling south along South Mall Drive, and a Toyota RAV4 that was traveling west along East Atlantic Drive when this accident would have occurred. The Nissan Tiana would have spun off from that accident and had a secondary collision into a wall of a private residence just at the junction of South Mall and Pinta Avenue.
Debris from both vehicles were scattered in the street. Superintendent Henfield went on to provide the status of those involved in the traffic mishap.
All the occupants of those vehicles, both vehicles, two occupants each, they were taken from the scene by ambulance. They were coherent and alert, and presently now at the Rand Memorial Hospital. The two passengers of the RAV4 had to be extricated using the jaws of life.
At this time, police are admonishing the motoring public to drive with extreme caution and care this Yuletide season to prevent accidents like this one.
We're going to empty all of the office. We're going to be on the road to make sure that, persons adhere to the traffic laws. And so that is all that we ask, that, you be safe.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNAS Network News.
The Bahamas Telecommunications Company facing the criminal element once again as the operations in a portion of the downtown area is crippled ahead of the Christmas holidays. Sabrina Brown reports.
Copper thieves striking BTC once again, targeting copper and fiber cables in the East Atlantic Drive area. This criminal act disabling dozens of customers and leaving thousands of dollars in damage. Among those inconveniently cut off were the Rand Memorial Hospital and the Grand Bahama Power Company. Senior Manager of Network Operations, Elvis Bartlett.
There was a 300 pair cable that was stolen, a 100 pair copper cable that was stolen, and a 36-strand fiber cable that was damaged.
Bartlett says copper theft is still a challenge for BTC. This is the second time the telecommunications company was hit within recent weeks.
2 weeks ago, on the Gambia Drive area, we had 3 spans of 600 lines stolen. So this is the second week now, and it's a rather copper theft. So during the holiday time, it seems to increase, and so we are encouraging the public to notify the police or ourselves in the event of suspected copper theft.
Vice President of Customer Experience, Eldry Ferguson Mackey, says the situation is troubling.
This is, of course, the holiday season, so you have children that are home, there's no internet, there's no phone service, etc. So we're coming up with a general appeal to the public. The public has been very helpful with us previously when we had some incidents early in the year, and of course the police department is very helpful as well. We're asking the public and the community to be very vigilant. If you see or you cite an issue, we'd like for you to please call us or contact the police.
She's also making this appeal.
And we're also generally appealing to persons that buy, trade, etc. It's a grave inconvenience, and if you're doing it, we want you to do it within the realms of the law, and make sure that the persons that you're servicing are also following and abiding the requisite rules. So it's very inconvenient. And so again, we're apologizing to our customers. As you can see, our teams are on the ground.
Now, officials say all services should be restored by Thursday. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
A local church hosting the annual Seniors Christmas Luncheon yesterday afternoon. The Life Community Church in Caravel Beach was the venue for the festive occasion. Precious pearls from across the island were treated to a 3-course meal at the annual Life Community Church Christmas Luncheon. Pastor Cedric Beckel says that they simply want to remind the senior citizens that they are loved, especially during the holiday season.
Out of the 11 months out of the year, we actually feed 100 shut-ins every month. But for December, we decided to bring those who are mobile into this location and treat them to food, dessert, and entertainment. It's just a way of giving back. And sometimes senior citizens are just lonely people. And we want them to know they're not forgotten by Life Community Church. We have a few senior citizens ourselves, so we think that's very significant in adding quality to their lives. So we do it every year.
The seniors were able to fellowship with one another and enjoy songs by young people from the church. The guests of honor say they are appreciative to the church for the kind gesture.
This is wonderful, wonderful. Yes, this is wonderful. You know, people like them consider us, I love that.
The luncheon so far is deeming to be very, very spirited. It is also one where we can really come together, and you can feel the bonding, you can feel the closeness in this setting. And so we're very, very appreciative of the Life Community Church for hosting this for us. Okay? And we pray God's blessings upon them.
Everyone seems to be having a good time, and we just love it. Thank you.
This year, the church was able to extend the outreach to even more persons within the community thanks to a timely partnership.
The constituency of Minister Lewis, they came to the service on Sunday and heard us making the announcement that we were going to restrict it to 100, and they wanted to partner with us to take it a little further, and that's how we got to the 150. So they made a contribution to add on the 50. So we are in partnership with them for this particular event this Christmas.
Solomon's Food Store on Queens Highway was buzzing with activity today, as it was the venue for a major food distribution drive. The Bahamas Feeding Network and AML Foods holding the Feed the 5,000 initiative on Grand Bahama. Sabrina Brown has the details.
The Bahamas Feeding Network teaming up with AML Foods to feed hundreds of families on Grand Bahama this Christmas. Some 1,000 food parcels were given to various churches and feeding organizations to distribute to those in need. Executive Director of the Bahamas Feeding Network, Philip Smith, says great effort went into the massive feeding program.
What you see here today is the conclusion of a campaign that's been going on for the last 4 weeks. Started the 17th of November, and the idea is, in fact, this is the second year we are doing it. We did it last year. We raised $66,000. We have surpassed that this year by 30%. So we have raised $84,000 during this campaign over the last month.
Senior Marketing Representative for AML Foods on Grand Bahama, Danisha Clark, says AML is delighted to be a part of this Goodwill initiative.
This is just a small part that we would like to play in our community in Grand Bahama. Yeah, we're getting a package meal. It's 5 pounds of rice, a ham, a chicken, vegetables, and stuffing. So those basic things you need to make your holiday season great.
Human Resources Manager at AML Foods, Tanya Russell, says this program is significant for the company, particularly during this time of year.
We realize that people are hurting, and the best way to help people who are hurting is to give. So we realize the need, especially for the basic necessities like food items. So AML saw the need, and this is where we decided to step in and to help our people.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition continues in just a moment.